Saturday spotlight on one of hockey's grand stages was stolen by the Rangers' remarkable lead actor. Rangers and Leafs both looked at tonight as a measuring stick, and the Rangers stand taller. 4-1 the final in Toronto. Inside our Delta MSG studios, alongside Steve Valiquette, I'm John Giannone. This game, only game 5 on the season, will be remembered probably long after tonight for what number 31 did.
John, I'm going to remember that one forever. You go back to Igor's Vezina Trophy winning season, and his season started off by making a name for himself in the Toronto game, just like this. Think about the pressure that Igor is under right now, too. It's a very public contract dispute, and he goes out there and performs like that. That's one of the best goalie performances I've ever seen. I mean it, and I thought that was just spectacular, the way that he carried the group. And there's going to be points, and remember, Ranger fans, you don't have to remind people or take any advice from people that are saying you only win that game because you're goalie. He's a player on the team like everybody else. But
the most important one.
But it's the impact that he gives you in belief. And I think that the Ranger team had a great start to this game, but it was the takeover that Igor had at the halfway point of the second period.
And it keeps the Ranger run rolling from the starting gate. Rangers now 4-0-1 to start the season, and it's the measuring stick of seasons in that regard. Points in 5 straight to open the year for the first time in 16 years. And they start the season with 3 straight wins on the road. They haven't done that in 96 years. Or 86 years, I should say, and they've only done it 3 times in the 99-year history of the franchise. And that's pretty remarkable, but it really needs to be said in this particular game, 31 stole it when you consider 7 saves in the first, 10 in the second, and 17 more in the third as the Leafs pressed to equal the game.
You know, the message I would give the team is that, look, at least the chances, they weren't as loud as the home opener against Utah where there was time and space. There was always somebody really pressing the puck carrier. There was sticks conversion. Now that allows Igor to get a better read on the situation. As long as he can read that it's either going to be a one-on-one situation or it's going to be a situation where I've got to come out and charge and take away ice versus no passes being available and I just got to cover a wrap. These are all sequences where he can read the play. You're allowing your best player to be the best player. And I feel like he's having fun again, just like we talked about in the pre-show against Detroit on Monday. He's out there celebrating his saves and having a lot of fun with a lot of emotion mixed into a spectacular period. Tell me this guy's not having fun right now. He's kind of showing off in a little way, too. Like he's putting a little more flair on it than he has to. But why? Because he's enjoying himself, and when goalies enjoy themselves, they really play well.
Yeah, when it's working like that, you deserve to enjoy yourself. Since that 6 goals against anomaly against Utah a little more than a week ago, Shesterkin has allowed only 2 goals on 67 shots over 2 games. He was given a 2-0 lead tonight thanks to a goal in each of the first 2 periods. The first one from Alexis Lafreniere, the second from Chris Kreider. We're going to step into the film room powered by CDW, and we're going to check out how it happened.
Yeah, and I think one thing has to be clear, too. Mancini being able to get the puck through really helps this play. And before it gets to that point, it's really a neutral zone that looks like any other line change for Toronto, but it's the speed that you come in on the forecheck. You do not have to run anybody through the glass. You just have to rush them. And if you rush them, they make mistakes. You get a fortunate bounce here off the referee because you're forcing the issue. You're there. It doesn't have to always be physicality. You can check with your feet, and that's what the Rangers do. Now, when the puck gets back to the point, I look at it like this. There's somebody right in the shooting lane. Mancini can't really put it on net. He's got to put it off net. But the Rangers are able to deflect the puck back into the goaltender. Trocheck does there, so Lafreniere can sweep in, and now he's in the middle of the ice. The goaltender's down, and there's a panel for him to hit here. And the goalie Stolarz, who is, again, one of the better goalies in the league, he goes fingers up for that save, and it goes underneath his hand. But the point I want to make on Mancini is that if you look at the hockey net from the blue line, and there's really 3 nets. The one in the middle, that's the shooting lane the Toronto player was occupying. But the right trapezoid and the left trapezoid, if you aim for those, you can still get pucks down to the net. Before the game, we talked a lot about winning net front. That was the first goal of the game. That set the tone for the game. But the Rangers won net front because Mancini was able to get it there. The D have to deliver it. but it's like saying it's a soccer net down there if you really look at the right and left trapezoid as well.
So Mancini, who had his first NHL goal in the last game, gets his first NHL assist in this one. And they headed to the second period with the Rangers leading 1-0. And then at the 9:08 mark of the second, Chris Kreider scored off a pass from Mika Zibanejad. Where have we heard that before? That was on a delayed penalty.
Well, the key here is that Chris is not in the front of the net. He's not in the middle of the net. If he's in the middle of the top of crease area, there's no angle for him to get behind the goaltender. It becomes a positionless goal for Stolarz. He can't quite get there. The connection up top at the blue line, it's as important as the connection when the puck is delivered down to the net. Now, when you look at the ice this way and you make sure that you have your three forwards in their lanes, you're going to get a triangle that has width and it has depth. And this allows Zibanejad not to shoot it on the goalie, but to put it right by his left skate. So Kreider getting behind him rather than to net front really allows that angle to take place. And I look at it a lot like Phil Jackson's triangle offense, John. Everything around the net, you should have small triangles after every shot that's taken from the point or from the sidewalls. That's just effective net front for me.
We've seen that play for many years from Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad. Kreider would add an empty net goal late in the third. That was his second goal of the game. Panarin added an empty net goal. Now 24 goals for the Rangers. They have scored at least 4 in all 5 games this season. And I think that's what jumps off the page about this first week and a half.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It was last year at the beginning of the season, the team was defending really well, but they were really sacrificing everything offensively at 5-on-5. I think the players start to feel that, and they know they're not scoring at 5-on-5, and they're referred to as power play merchants. And you don't want that as a player. You don't want to be a cookie monster on the power play and not bring it at 5-on-5. So last year, I felt like they went out of defensive zone coverage to put too much risk into their game. Whereas this year, they're doing it the right way. They're doing it systematically. They have a plan, and I feel like everybody's on the same page.
And what's important also is not only at the offensive end, but then look what happens defensively. Again, we know the anomaly of a 6-goal against when they played Utah, but it's been 0, 1, 2, and 1 goals against since then. Let's begin the reaction from Toronto on this 4-1 Rangers win. Riley Smith had 2 assists on the night. Dave Maloney spoke with him.
Speak to the play at the empty net goal. Puck goes deep, and you have the sense to throw it back to the high area.
If I could have scored from there, I probably would have shot it. But Kreider does a good job getting it into their zone and putting it behind the net. And both those two guys were playing very defensive. So thankfully, they're far enough back where they're able to catch a bad pass that I made.
And just speak to now your 5 games, 4 or 5 games into, playing with Mika and Chris, and it looks like the comfort continues to be good.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's obviously no finished product, but I think every game we're taking steps in the right direction. I think tonight was another job doing that. I think tonight we probably did our best job finding each other in the offensive zone and cycling and working off each other. So. Next game is another challenge, but we'll try to get better every game.
And again, you've had a few games now with Igor and net, and your thoughts now being a teammate as opposed to an opponent.
Yeah, it's nice. I was saying that he's able to give us probably bigger leads in games than we deserve, especially through the first 5 games of the season. And games should probably be closer than the scoreboard has been, but he makes saves on pretty much sure goals, and that makes a huge difference. So not only is keeping the puck out of the net, but he's also changing the momentum in games, and it's gone a long way for us so far this year. I don't know. There were so many of them. I lose count. I feel like he's has a whole season of highlight reel already through 4 or 5 games this year. So it's pretty impressive what he's able to do. But, I think we can probably do a better job helping him out and not giving him all those chances.
3 wins in a row now for the group. What have you liked about what you've seen over this last stretch?
Obviously, special teams are so important, especially early in the season. And I think our power play has been awesome. And then keeping pucks out of our own net. So there's a lot of things that our group can still get better on. And I think we're working through those things. But to score goals at the pace that we're doing right now is great to see, and sometimes that's the hardest part of the game.
Some nice eloquence there from Riley Smith describing this 4-1 Rangers win. We heard Joe Micheletti say that the first line tonight, Kreider, Zibanejad, Riley Smith, were the best line on the ice for the Rangers. Most nights it's been that second line. Every once in a while, the third line. I know it's not a big window of games that we've seen Riley Smith play with Zibanejad and Kreider. But that said, what are the early returns?
Well, I think he's a perfect fit. And he didn't have a great year last year in Pittsburgh with Malkin, but Malkin is not easy to play with. I can tell you that. He's not a north-south player. Through the neutral zone, Chris and Mika, they're pretty north-south. When they get in zone, they've got their sets. Now, what he's able to do is be the first guy in on the forecheck. And that's a benefit to those two guys, Mika and to Kreider, that if they can get the puck, get possession at 5-on-5, they're going to have more 5-on-5 opportunity. That's what that line needed coming into this season, John, was longer puck possession shifts in zone at 5-on-5. And now they've got that. This is going to help. This is going to help the entire season. And I think it's just the right complement of a player to be able to play with those two guys. It's going to be a fit.
2 goals for Chris Kreider, 2 assists for Mika Zibanejad, 2 assists for Riley Smith. That was a highlight of the 4-1 Rangers win in Toronto.